Welcome back to another Alliance War video. We have 4 Loki versus SSX. There's a lot of people in SSX that are friends with a lot of people in 4 Loki, so this should be a good one. Clown actually has his mini account in SSX currently, so he's actually playing in both wars, which is it's kind of cool, and it kind of sucks obviously because he doesn't want either side to win or lose, or he wants them both to win, but that can't happen. But taking in American Chavez, Omega Sentinel, and Valkyrie. I was on the fence about bringing Omega Sentinel in or not, because I had to take a Shuri in section 2, but I really wanted to bring Hood for a fight, but Chavez could do it. Then Chavez would have to take this first fight and kind of reverse the power gain. So I brought Omega Sentinel in, and I was just going to use her for the first one. She's tactic, so she's going to power burn Elsa. This node really doesn't have anything going for Elsa with an attacker tactic, because she removes any prowess that you get from doing the deja vu combo, and it gives it extra prowess. So basically, all that's going to happen is I'm going to take damage back from critical hits. So the plan here basically is get to a special 3 and pause my incinerates, so that does the bulk of the damage, and I don't take as much damage back as I would. Now, this is a 7-star Elsa, so her blocked hits just do quite a significant amount of chip damage. I don't want to parry her because I don't want to have her trigger the shrug and then combo me after or something like that. So I'm just gonna bait heavies and bait SB1s. I fight Elsa a lot in AQ, so I'm familiar with her animations. And at this point, she's almost about halfway down by the time I get to my special 3. So at this point, I just want to make sure that she has no prowess as I'm baiting a special 1, and she does right here. And she can go in and end with a light and land these big incinerates on her. So when I come out of this, there's going to be 6 large incinerates running paused at this point, and so this is where the bulk of the damage is going to happen. You see my pause is about to wear off, and here I'm going to go pause it again, and she's basically just dead. So pretty simple fight. And now I go to section 2. I have the Zemo on node 25, and I've taken this lots of times with American Chavez, and we just recently got a rank 2 Chavez that we moved to defense, so my Chavez who's rank 5 went back available for attack, specifically for this fight because I took it a lot last season. And I am definitely in a funk. The whole alliance is in a funk, but me specifically, because you'll see this fight and you'll see the cleanup after. Spoiler alert, I die. It's just 2 different fights, and I need to stop worrying about the outcome and start focusing on see right there, like I assumed I had a parry, and then I was like, oh, then after that I was just flustered, and I triggered power snap, and I was just like, okay, just get control, and he intercepts me, and I'm like, oh my god. At this point, he does a special 1 to trigger power snack. I'm trying to get my negative zones up to basically get his power gain reversed, and I do right there, but he throws this and he hits me straight with it. If I wouldn't have got hit with that, I would have had a shot, because I could have dexed that last hit and I would have been rooted. I throw a special to get out of the root because his blocked hits hurt tremendously, and I have big bleeds on me at this point, and now I'm just like, oh my god. And then I take 1 more block hit, I get parried there, and this is just, obviously, I just spiraled, and it was just horrible. I heal up, and I go in again, and I tell myself that I've done this plenty of times. Just stick to what I know, which is keep the negative zones up, keep him in his corner, bait SB1s, and everything's fine. And I land that parry, and I get the first negative zone up, throws a special 1, and now we're cooking. And this is frustrating because at this point I know the fight is won. I'm going to keep his power gain in control. I'm I'm going to hit his block to keep him in the corner and basically just control the fight here. I want to keep my negative zones up. As long as I have a prowess, it'll milk his power. And don't throw any specials if I have a sting up. And you see here, he's you know, he's a lot more friendly with his special one when he's in his corner. And the fight is basically over at this point. It's just frustrating because it's another death on a fight that I know I can do very well. And I throw the special too, and I'm back up to, you know, 100%. And this fight is now over, and it's just bad on my part. But next up, I have this Valk versus Jessica Jones. Super easy fight on this node. All I gotta do is get over a 10-hit combo, get a pierce up, and essentially the fight is over. I was gonna take Shuri on the next node with Valk and bring in Hood. Oh, sorry. Yes, that's what I was going to do. But I would have blocked Shuri's special ones, and then she would have gone unblockable per the node. So I didn't go with that. But here you can see that everything. I just got to get to my special 2 basically, and I want to make sure that that I have over 3 pierce when I throw my special 2. So here I'm going to basically hit her block and convert my my combo. So I start building my bulwark, and now I like having this sooner typically, because if I happen to dash in late and she blocks, I don't get parried. But here she's rather aggressive, so I accidentally switched my combo, so I couldn't go back down. So right now I'm focusing on just sticking to my light ending attacks, and she keeps throwing these heavies. So I'm like, you know what? Like, if she's gonna keep throwing these heavies, I'm gonna just, you know, hit her. But there, she actually combos me, almost ruined that, and I get smacked around with it. But it's my only Valk fight. So now I have this Shuri, and the reason I went with Omega Sentinel is because while I could have used Valk, if she throws a heavy, it's just gonna delay the fight more because she's gonna go untouchable. And if she has a special, then I have to wait out the untouchable, and chances are she's going to throw another special and get more unblockables. So the plan here basically is to use my tracking debuff and not parry. You can't parry her anyways, right? But I don't want to parry and trigger disorient. So I'm just going to basically land a tracking debuff, and then I'm going to bait heavies, and I'm going to keep it paused. So she throws a heavy right away. So that's perfect, so I don't take a lot of chip damage, and I can get some armor ups up, and that will allow me to mitigate a lot of the damage. So the plan basically now is in full effect. I'm going to go to my SB3 and land those big incinerates, and partially dex this so I can retaliate and keep that tracking on her. So at this point, the power burn is definitely helping me. I have max tech collar, or collar tech, so I'm not giving her a whole lot of power even as I'm hitting her. On top of the armor burn, that helps a lot. So here I go with my special 3, and I'm like, okay, so far so good. I'm thinking about that last fight that I died in, and I'm just like, okay, just stick to this plan. Let's just keep everything paused, beta heavy, and keep the incinerates up. So here, she throws this, decks the last hit. I'm like, all right, I'm cooking. And these are paused, so she throws this. I still have my tracking, and she is dead. I throw the special one just to kill time, actually, if the incinerates really kill her. But that would have refreshed my tracking as well. So next up, I have this Kingpin on 48, and Lags took this with Warlock last time without a guidance. I have a guidance here, and the person who was supposed to place a guidance here was supposed to place a guidance on the next fight, which is 51 with Conflictor. But during planning, for whatever reason, I moved another person's wags to my 51, but that person ended up going to the right. So I had to lose my wags pre-fight on the next fight, and we'll get to that. So here the plan basically is to use my wags pre-fight to basically get a heavy off ASAP. This node has power reserve and his combat rate is going to be increased, but if I can crit with 2 negative zones up, it'll control some of his power. So I don't want to combo into him because that'll give him more prowess potentially before I get 2 negative zones up. So now I'm like, all right, perfect. Now I am definitely draining him, and I want to keep at least 2 negative zones up at all times. I don't know what happened, but at one point I stopped gaining negative zones, and he throws a special one. I pushed him over, but I knew it was going to drain him, and I almost got in trouble because of that. So if I could get him well under a bar of power, I would have just heavy chained. Like right there, I should have gone for a heavy chain and seen if he was really running stand your ground. It would have ultimately just cheesed the fight, but he's over a bar and power reserve kind of keeps him there, and I just need to keep the negative zones up. And if he gets that was an in-game lag, by the way. I was freaking out. I was like, this is the last thing I need right now. I have everything going wrong for me. I don't need anything worse. So the plan basically here is to see if I can get him well under a bar of power, and then I can throw my special 3. And right here, the prowess is definitely working with me. So I throw the special 3. He has his overpower buff, which is going to make me hit a little harder, and I'm going to get more dimensions up, which is going to make me hit harder as well. So this fight is definitely going slowly, but I'm in control at this point. He throws a special 1. I have 4 negative zones up, so if I can get some crits, you see that was a nice 20k crit right there, and so I get an intercept right there. I want to keep getting negative zones up. I don't care about anything else or throwing other specials. I just want to make sure his power is kept under control here. That's basically all I care about. I'm going to throw a special 2 right here to end it, and it definitely does end it. So that fight went well enough. I definitely would rather exit. It would be faster, but Chavez does a good job here. So this is the fight where I wanted Hood. I wanted Hood because of power start 1, and then obviously just go invisible, and then you can just miss and then counter him. And then with the Fate Seal, it removes all of his buffs. And then if you take any blocked hits, you're not in danger of anything. And Chavez a few seasons ago had a node where she had a neutralizing Fate Seal, which made this fight completely a joke. She still can do gore because she's going to hit tremendously hard even with his regen. But I didn't have a Wags, so I had to do this a lot. I really had to beat his block and keep him in his corner. And the plan basically was to dance, and there I get clipped. He has a really long reach on that medium, and I'm worried I'm going to get cornered here, so I go for an intercept. And I need to get some negative zones up. And I'm like, okay, the fight's calm down, the fight's under control, and just get him back into his corner. I can throw specials as well because I don't really care about, there's no prowess power that's going to ramp him up. I just need to basically keep him at special 1 and keep him, throwing that so I get my openings, and so just, get him in his corner, and right there probably should have hit him with a heavy, and then I get clipped. And the debuffs start piling on, and I'm like, oh my god. I see that I'm melting. Those are 2k ticks, and I'm just like, go the special 3. I know it's not going to do as much damage. He has a lot of buffs. I have more damage, but I'm going to die. I'm going to come out of this, and I'm just going to die. And this was the second war of this, the second death of this war. And I'm just frustrated with the season and what I've been doing. But ultimately, these deaths are on me, and I just got to do better. And talking to the Alliance, it's just something I can clean up. It's just got to take it one war at a time. And this is my worst season by far ever. So, like in the history of me playing war. And you see here, if I just had a Wags, it would be much easier. And that is my own fault during the planning. Like, I don't know, I just moved it the other way just to split up the Wags between 2 of them, and you have an extra one. It did make, actually, the fight a little easier for my alliance mate, who's taking me to Tuma. But at this point, I'm like, okay, I've hit his block the entire time for him to throw a special 1. And I'm like, okay, so this is, now I can get going. and I just realized I could have heavied him again there. And I'm like, alright. So he throws a heavy, and I'm trying just to you know, stick to the plan and not get clipped. And I throw the special one right here. And I'm like, okay. It seems like it's going well enough, but just like war, anything can happen. I throw the special 2, and I have mutant boost, you know, and I'm just like, okay. I'm like, dude, throw your special 1. And right there, he clips me. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna die again. So just kill him. Just go for the kill right here. But it's just a bad war. I gotta do better. Ultimately, we lost the war. Shout out to Mike, PWF, and Andrew for MVPs. GG's to SSX. You know, it was not a close war. They demolished us. We did pretty badly, but we got to do better. And that's what I plan to do. Just take it in one war at a time, one fight at a time, and we'll see how the season shapes out.